Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. So in this video we are going to take a look at the LR INT Super Saiyan 2 Gohan Youth and we're going to get a good idea of just how good he is. So obviously this is the latest LR unit to receive a EZA or an LRZA, and he becomes 120% INT type lead plus key 4. He also has 2 super attack effects changed, so he now raises his defense for 1 turn on his 12 key, and he also will greatly raise his attack and raise his defense for 1 turn and cause mega colossal damage on his 18 key. So obviously it's nice that he can keep stacking his attack. It's pretty helpful, but it's not necessarily the greatest thing, and the ability to raise his defense will help him out quite a bit. He now has defense of 58% plus an additional defense of 58% when he is firing a super attack. He also will have the same offensive effect, so he has attack plus 18% per orb plus an additional key per orb obtained. So in terms of build, you're going to want to go for the crit build on this guy. He can hit some really crazy attack numbers, as he always could, and additionals technically do obviously help him temporarily raise his defense, but I just don't think it's entirely necessary for him to survive hard content. So I would say definitely a crit orientated build. In terms of links, we have Kamehameha, Gaze of Respect, Super Saiyan, Prepared for Battle, Shocking Speed, Legendary Power, and yeah, a pretty nice link set. Not too bad overall. Definitely a decent link set. He obviously links really well with the other LR AGL Teen Gohan. He also links pretty well with other Super Saiyans in general. So there's a lot of viability for him on a lot of teams. In terms of those teams, in terms of categories, we have Hybrid Saiyans, Full Power, Goku's Family, Youth, the Android and Cell Saga, Kamehameha, Bond of Master and Disciple, Super Saiyan 2, and Exploding Rage. We also have All Out Struggle, but I think the best categories for him to be on are going to be the Android and Cell Saga, Goku's Family, Super Saiyan, Hybrid Saiyans. Anything where he can pair up with another Gohan character or another SS or a good Super Saiyan are going to be good categories for him. He generally has improved quite a bit, but at 55% I think his defense is still a little bit lacking for higher level events. But we'll take a look at him first under this Android and Cell Saga team, and we'll get a good idea of how he performs. My Gohan is a 55% unit, and we're going to have him linked up with the LR AGL Gohan, and we're going to have him with the Android 16 on rotation, which is a nice big 50% attack buff. So Gohan is an older unit, he's a New King type unit, so he's going to vary very much. He's going to vary a lot depending on how many orbs you get him. If you get him 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 orbs, he's going to be hitting really nice, he's going to be hitting a good attack stat, and that's going to make him a very valuable unit. If you are only getting 2 or 3 orbs with him, he's not going to look that great. And that's just one of those things with Gohan. He doesn't need too much key support. He's got 3 key links, plus he also has obviously that additional key obtained per orb. So Gohan doesn't necessarily need key orbs to be functional as a unit. If we take a look at Gohan here, we'll see that he has 61k defense. That's really not that bad. Remember, he gains an additional 58% defense, so he essentially almost doubles his defense because he has a starting defense of 58%. He will gain an additional defense upon firing his super attack. So he's going to have a decent amount of defense. We're probably looking at just over 110k. It's a really reliable amount of defense. It's super solid. It's very, very, very good. So overall, I definitely think his defense has improved. Once he supers as well, he will also raise that defense for a single turn, which obviously helps as well. So there's a lot of viability to Gohan now that wasn't there before. Before he just had no defense. Now obviously he's better suited towards the second slot, and that's one of those things that, you know, is okay with me. I'm not too phased with where he's placed. I think he's perfectly fine to be placed in the second slot. I think he's very functional there. I think he's great there. I think they were scared to improve his offensive capabilities too much, just simply due to the fact that, honestly, with the link set that he has and the fact that he's a nuking type unit, you can get some really funky things going on. Like if you take him into the Gods of Destruction event, for example, and you use a whole bunch of orb items, he can still pretty much almost one-shot Gods of Destruction if he gets a crit and if you have him with like a dupe. It's that kind of thing that they're trying to avoid with him by not improving his offense. He's also one of the few units that can do the nuking events, the punching bag challenges, without items. So I think they're just very careful about increasing a nuker's offensive capabilities, especially one of the still best nukers in the game. It's a bit of a shame that he's not always hitting 6-7 million attack stats, at least at 55%. Yes, of course, it is a little bit of a shame. But that being said, honestly, he is still so viable, and way more viable now because of his defensive increase. Like if at 55%, I can actively use Gohan now. I can use him in events. I can use him in the latest Dokkan events. I can use him in ESBR. I can use him in SBR. I can use him in Gods of Destruction events. And that's fine by me. Yes, he's not going to be the best performer at 55%, but he's not going to be bad. And I think that's really good. If you have a dupe or two in him, he's going to excel. He's going to perform greatly. He's going to do a really nice job. So yeah, I just think it's entirely, honestly, on how you have Gohan as a unit. So we have 61k defense, we have 5 links active, we have the 50% attack buff, and we're going to get 7 orbs, which is a decent amount. You can see there no difference in his defense. Remember, he's going to gain a lot of defense when he fires his super, and he's also going to gain defense from the super, so we'll see a pretty good attack stat here from Gohan. 16 is probably one of the better units to run with him. You could maybe activate his other 2 links and then also give him an offensive buff, and that might get more. But 3.8 million is very solid. Obviously, he could hit that before. 7 orbs isn't too hard to get. Give him an orb changer, he'll hit even higher. And his defense is going to be very good after that. Like I said, again, about 110,000. If he additionals, obviously it will go up higher. If he crits, it will also go up higher. Remember, if you've got his 18 here, you're also building attack. So that does help, obviously, in some way, in increasing his attack as well, which I guess, you know, is a good thing. Does enable him to obviously reach a greater heights in longer events, or just in general, because he is greatly raising attack. But, you know, I would have probably preferred it the other way around, a temporary raise on attack but constantly raising defense. I think that would have really made things, I don't know, a lot better for him, just in terms of build and everything like that. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's not really too big an issue. I think he performs great. I think he is definitely improved and way more viable now. Even at 55%, I've used him in some different content and he comes out alright. He does well. He's obviously way more defensively viable than he ever was before. So yeah, he's just a lot better. And we're going to run him here on the Kamehameha team. Obviously, we have him paired up with Gohan here. The key is obviously to get him as many orbs as possible. But we're going to just do one attack without a lot of orbs. Just so we can see how big that orb difference is. You can see here he's going to take a little bit of damage from Topo, but nothing too crazy. Obviously, running him in the first slot isn't really ideal. So you're going to want to push him to the second slot as soon as you can. You can see there, just those few orbs, only a 1.4 million. So not a lot of power, like not a lot of offensive output. But yeah, definitely something that, you know, you should probably focus on as orbs. And our orb changes do help that, but generally speaking, just putting them next to self-sufficient key units like Gohan, like AGL Gohan, like any other unit that maybe doesn't need ki to hit a high level and allows you to just cater your team around building a set of orbs for Gohan each turn, will always help out. That will always end up just making things a lot easier, and it's just going to make everything better in general. So there's really not a lot of rocket science to using Gohan properly. It's just obviously making sure that you cater to that need for orbs. Once he starts building up his attack, I guess technically you could reduce the amount of orbs, but it's not really needed. Now the thing is, 55% Gohan is hitting attack stats of about 3 million with 7 orbs. As you can see, my 2-dupe AGL Gohan is hitting 4 million with no real need for orbs. Obviously, if you put a couple dupes in the INT Gohan, he's going to perform a lot better, and he's going to hit much higher attack stats. And that is just one of those things that you just need to be aware of. You can't really compare the two, but I do think the update does bring INT Gohan a lot closer to AGL Gohan's level. I think AGL Gohan is still very, very good. Like, I do think a lot of people don't evaluate him properly. I think he's still exceptional. I think he's great defensively. And if you do get the transformation, he can incinerate like anyone in the game. I just think, you know, he's a little bit undervalued by the community in general. But, you know, I'm very impressed with the change to INT Gohan. I don't think he is, you know, super duper tanky. He's not like absolutely impressively tanky. He's not an absolute machine when it comes to taking hits, but he can actually hold his own now in like events, which is very, very good. And we're talking ESPR, we're talking Gods of Destruction events. He can definitely hold his own. Yeah. So I don't see a problem with this change. And like I said, I think they were just very, very cautious about changing his offensive output. I think if you even increase his orb change by 1 or 2%, it just changes a lot. Like the way it works with the multiplication it does during a nuking event, with everything like that, it really does change everything a lot. You look at how you add those items that give you 5% extra per orb, and units go from hitting 7 million to 27 million. So, you know, something like that on a permanent basis for Gohan would have just been a bit too much, and I think it's something they were aware of when they were changing Gohan, or at least when they were busy adjusting Gohan and providing that. So overall, I do like his change. I think his EZA is very good. I would probably have just inverted his super attack effects, and I think it would have been absolutely fantastic. But if you've got Gohan and you've got like even one dupe in him, you're going to be seeing such an improved unit, such a way more defensively viable unit. And when you have units that change, it changes the makeup of teams. Like now, Android Cell Saga has a very potent double legendary Gohan rotation. Android Cell Saga has a very high leader skill. It has great supports, great running options. You can run Cell with Cell. Cells are just a great unit in general. And now the team is way more viable. So we'll take a look at his link skills. Obviously those are very important, and we saw a couple of them there, but you know, just in terms of links, Super Saiyan is going to be a super common one. Kamehameha, Prepared for Battle, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. These are all incredibly common links amongst Super Saiyan LRs, Super Saiyans, Hybrid Saiyans, Pure Saiyans, Gohan units. There's just a lot of cards that have these links, so it makes him a very viable unit. Obviously from a key standpoint, he has Gaze of Respect, Prepared for Battle, and Shocking Speed, so that's a nice mixture of links. Obviously Gaze of Respect is a little bit more nuanced, it is a little bit more out there, it's obviously between him and Piccolo basically, but overall there's a lot of good linking units, and you can see that here there's at least 5 units that all share 5 links. Very, very solid there. And then if we just knock it down, if we just remove Legendary Power, there are tons of units here for Gohan to link to, from Goku's family to Miraculous Awakening to Super Saiyans, Hybrid Saiyans. You know, there's just tons. There are so many units for him to link to. youth units. There's just a lot going on. So Gohan's link set's very good. It's a reliable link set. It's the kind of link set that will get you 3 or 4 links every time with a lot of units, and it's the kind of link set that will top out at about 5. Just because Gaze of Respect is so uncommon, that's going to be a bit difficult for you to niche or latch onto, and Shocking Speed and Prepared for Battle don't usually pair with each other for most units. So most units don't generally have Shocking Speed and Prepared for Battle. Most will have one or the other, but either way, Gohan is still a great unit. He just links really well, and he gains a lot of offense from his link. So if you link level Gohan, you're going to see that attack stat really rise, and you'll see that defensive stat rise a little bit as well. Shocking Speed does contain a defensive element. Prepared for Battle does increase his defense a little bit, but mainly it's attack orientated link. Super Saiyan, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, Kamehameha, all of those are entirely offense related links, and leveling them up will make things a lot better. And in terms of Gaze of Respect, you can just see there's not a lot of options sitting here, or not a lot of options that I would say you want to run. There's Kid Gohan, who's obviously quite reliable, but he doesn't really link that great otherwise. So overall, just probably stick to focusing on Super Saiyan and Prepared for Battle. But that's about it from me. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about Gohan. Is he good? Do you like his change? Do you wish they did more? Do you have Gohan? How many dupes do you have? What are you seeing from him? What have you used him in? And yeah, just basically let me know your thoughts, your comments, what you guys like about him, what you guys don't like about him. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. So take care, good luck, and yeah, until next time, of course, as always, stay safe. But that's going to be it from me, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.